you a fan of the Dragon Ball Super card game? If so, check out QueenCityGaming.com for sealed product, singles, and more. Just use promo code MafubaJar-10 to save 10% off your order every time.
Welcome back to Mafuba Jar. We've been still waiting for another awesome deck profile. And today, in honor of the new Broly movie coming out within just a few short weeks, we're going to be taking a look at the Black Leader Broly deck profile. Now, this Broly is going to be a serious bruiser, because he's going to leave your opponent black and blue. That's right, this is going to be a black-blue version of this deck. Now, we are getting a lot of cool of the new Broly promo stuff. For example, the Broly pack is going to have a yellow Broly leader that's based on the Broly move, which sounds really good. And also in March, we're getting the Set 6 Broly green cards, which are amazing. But we got some pretty decent Broly stuff to work with now. So let's go ahead and take a look at this movie promo right here. The autos, when this card attacks a leader card, you may choose a card in your life, place it in the drop area. And if you do, you place up to 3 cards from the top of your deck into your drop area. Then your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it in the drop area. So what's cool that since that says up to 3, you only have to just crit yourself 1. Even if you choose not to mill anything, your opponent still has to pitch a card. So it's really, really cool. And he awakens at 4 life by drawing 2 cards. And his awakening side here is auto. Once a turn, when he attacks, you draw a card. Then you choose one of your non-token, non-black battle cards. I hate that restriction. And place it into the drop area. Then your opponent chooses a card in their hand, placed in the drop area. Honestly, I think they did that because they didn't want this to be busted. But honestly, had they made it like token or black, I don't think it would have been busted by any means. And just so you know, the way this is worded, you cannot use Khalifa to protect your stuff. Because choosing one of your battle cards is the requirement to use that. So if Khalifa protects you, then you don't get the requirement stuff, which I hate. But that's just the way the card was made. And he also has an activate main. You choose a card in your hand, place it in the drop area. And you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and you knock it out. So basically, you pitch a card to knock out one of your opponent's battle cards every turn. So that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. And there's quite a few ways to build him. Like, in the past, a good way to build him was with Overrun, since he was always milling 4 cards a turn on his unawakened side. But we're going to work with some of the Set 5 stuff here as well. We do have a couple Overrun cards, though. So I'm going to start off with the combo cards here. We have 4 copies of Temporal Rescue Trunks that we got in Miraculous Revival. I love the fact that the super combos already come with a 10,000, so you don't need to be at 4 life to at least get the boosted power. But he's a Sparking 5, and when you combo with him, if your leader card's black, you draw a card. Which, you're going to be milling 4 cards on your first turn, so you'll be able to get this off right away. And along with that, we are also running 4 copies of Unbreakable Super Saiyan Goku. Now, for the most part, if you want to run the green cell in this instead to save up on money, that's perfectly fine. But there is one little reason I choose to run this, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. So basically, 10,000, pay an energy, and you get to draw a card. So it's basically 8 super combos in your deck. And we also have 3 copies of Champa, just because Double Strike is very nice. Getting Double Strike when you combo with them, too good. Alright, so now for some of our blue cards here, we've got 4 copies of Majin Buu. Now, this is the most ideal card here for your Awakened side Broly to knock out, to make your opponent pitch a card. Because 1 drop, draw a card, and yeah, to me, just the perfect target. So, that's all good. And for our other 1 drop, I'm actually only running 2 of the Dark Power Mass Sand. Now, this card here is actually pretty neat. It has 2 autos, but you're only ever going to really focus on the second one. But I'll tell you guys the first one quickly. It's basically when you attack, you add a card to your hand, and it gains 10,000 for the duration of the turn. It's one of those cards, but as I said, you hardly use that one. And the other auto is when your opponent plays a battle card with 15,000 or less power using a non-keyword skill, so like autos, activate main, stuff like that, your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand and places them in a drop area. So a good example is using like some of the desire cards like a Child's Wish, that 4-drop, the Kaba, the 4-drop Shenron, 5-drop Shenron, stuff like that. They have to pitch 2 cards to use that. So that's really, really good. Puts a huge damper in your opponent's plan. But again, you can use it for the assisting you in self-awakening if you really want to, but you self-awaken yourself, so I personally feel it's not necessary. And of course, when you're running blue, you've got to run Sensu Bean. It's too good. Too good indeed. But what's interesting is that in set 6, we're actually getting... Set 6 and actually not Miraculous Revival, Clash of Fates. We actually are getting cards that will kind of punish you for using Sensu Bean. So I think that's good. I think it's about time we get something like that, but... Nonetheless, I'm getting off topic here. But yeah, Sensu Bean, best card, best blue card in the deck in my personal opinion. Just be able to restand and boost your power. Just too good. And with that, we're also going to be running 3 copies of Objection, because energy acceleration, always good. No reason to not have any form of energy acceleration. Alright. Now this is going to be one of our main cards to attack within the deck, and that's going to be 4 copies of Sneak Attack Vegeta. So it's got Barrier, which is really cool. And Zato is when this card attacks a leader card, your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and places it on top of their deck. So this goes with the Broly leader to making your opponent lose card advantage. So that's really cool. So if you're constantly attacking them with these, they're not really going to gain much card advantage at all. You're going to constantly keep them at like a low hand throughout the game, which is really good. And next up for 3 drops here, we've got the Deadly Defender Son Goku. Really great card here. I love the Deadly Defender so much. So he's Barrier, he has 20k power, but his permanent is, well, during your opponent's turn, if your leader card is black, it does lose 5,000 power, but if it's in rest mode, your opponent's leader card cannot attack your leader. Well, cards in general. Sorry, we're profiling a Broly deck, and I was thinking the green Broly for a second. I was like, wow, that sounds like completely... Nope. No, bad Noel. But basically, your opponent's cards can't attack your leader as long as this one's in rest mode. And since that's Barrier, granted, we have a few more ways to deal with Barrier, but they're still like high-cost cards for the most part. So they're going to have to attack this directly. And using a Sensu Bean on this Deadly Defender, oh, that's the good stuff right there. Now, our last 3 drop is going to be 2 copies of Black Mass Santa Devastator. Now, this is why I have the Unbreakable here instead of the Cell. Because he's a 3 drop, 1900 power, a little awkward. Critical, which is nice, but the auto's where it's at. During your turn, if your leader card is black, and there are a total of 15 or more sand cards in both your and your opponent's drop area. So basically, the total of sands in both drop areas has to be 15. When his card attack is negated, or when his card fails to deal damage to your opponent's leader, what you do is that you can choose 1 card in your opponent's life and send it to the warp. So it's a guaranteed hit no matter what. So if they decide to negate or block it, if the total is 15 in the drop or more, you just automatically send a life away anyway. So it is a guaranteed hit, which is really, really cool. And that was it for the 3 drops. Now we're going to the 4 drops here. And we also got 2 copies of Black Mass Sand Splintering Mine. It's got 2 autos. 4 drop. Again, awkward 19 power, but what are you going to do? When you play this card, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and send it to its owner's warp, so it's an automatic pop, so that's pretty cool. And its auto is a Sparking 7, which means it activates when you have 7 or more cards in your drop, just like the Temporal Rescue Trunks. See, when this card attacks, and your leader card's black, you choose 2 cards in your life and send it to the warp. If you do so, choose up to 1 card of your opponent's life and send it to the owner's warp. This is a good card to use for endgame when your opponent only has 1 or 2 life left, and you have, obviously, if you have more life than them. You want to play this when you have around 4 life left, because at least with that, you're still left with 2 life. It's a little risky to go 3 life, but if it's guaranteed to go through at 3 life, then yeah, obviously by all means do it, but I personally would only do it at 4 life. Or higher if you get to that point. I'm just being kind of realistic with how the game is, because it's a very quick game now. Alright, next up for 4 drops here, we've got 2 copies of Shenron, Figure of Majesty. This is such an awesome card right here. None of the Shenron cards get attacked, which I'm a little disappointed because I want to send my Giant Wish Dragon to attack. I can't be the only one who wants that. But anyways, his activate means a Sparking 5. What you do is you draw a card and you choose 1 of the 3 skills. You can either choose up to 2 of your energy, switch them to active mode, choose a battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area and play it, or choose your leader card or 1 of your other battle cards and it gains 5,000 in critical for the duration of the turn. you're really just gonna, in this particular deck, you just either gonna use the first or third. There's not really too much you could do with the second one, but the first and third are just amazing. So yeah, this is just a really good card overall. Now last 4-drop here is gonna be 2 copies of At All Cost Vegeta. Now, even though we already do Self-Awakening in this deck, this is worth it. Like, this is arguably one of the most powerful blue cards in the game right now, besides the Gogeta stuff. So as autos, when you play this card, you draw a card and you choose up to 1 of your energy, switch into active mode. Activate Maze, you choose 2 cards in your life, add them to your hand. He gains 3k for each energy you have for the duration of the turn. And if you have 5 or more energy, you can knock out one of your opponent's battle cards and he'll gain triple strike for the duration of the turn. So this right here, if you can pull it off, this is a deadly combination. Because you play the Shenron, then next turn you play the Vegeta to just get all of its stuff done, give it the 35 and triple strike. Then you use the Shenron here to give him an additional 5k and critical. So he becomes a 40,000 triple strike critical. That is just brutal. And if you're playing, and like, if everything's going right for you, your opponent's not going to have very many cards in their hand to really work with. So that right there is just, ouch. Alright, next up for our heavy hitters. First up, we got 2 copies of Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's a barrier, double strike, really awesome. And the odds when this card attacks, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and return to the owner's hand. Then choose up to 2 of your energy and switch them to active mode. So it helps you restand energy. Not to mention, it has an answer to your opponent's cards with barrier, specifically the Deadly Defenders. It's a good way around Deadly Defenders, so that's really awesome right there. And as I said, we do run a few overwhelm cards. The first ones are going to be Mira Creator Absorb, just because he's amazing. And just so you guys know, the overwhelm cards I'm going to show you, those are what you go to game with. Like, that's how you're going to end your game. He's overwhelmed before, you can pay an energy, has Deflect, so that's really good. The first auto doesn't apply because it only happens when you play him using Union. But his second auto, oh man, that thing is so busted. When his card attacks, this card gains 5,000 power for each card in your warp for the duration of the turn. So that is just overbearingly brutal right there. Like, without comboing, you can get this guy to 100k easily. Matter of fact, the highest I ever got to him without comboing was 180,000. So he becomes insanely powerful. So basically with this is another way around Deadly Defenders, because it's either negate or you're taking a hit or you're getting the knockout. Like, your opponent is not comboing out of this. I've seen even Hercule, the World Martial Arts Tournament Hercule deck, fail to combo out of this just because it's too powerful. Alright, now for our negates. Gonna be running 4 copies of Power Burst. I mainly play this one because it can possibly be a free negate by adding a life to hand. So it's a counter attack. If your little card's black, you negate the attack, then you choose up to 1 black battle card from your drop area or warp with energy cost of 1 and add to your hand. So that's basically just only going to be the Dark Power Black Mass Sand, but the main point is it's a negate for you, and it's possibly a free one because all the new negates from set 5 have the permanent of a Sparking 5. So where if you have at least 5 cards in your drop, then you can activate the counter by adding a life to your hand instead. So that's the main reason why I have this here. So yeah, life management is very important in this deck. Like, I can't stress that enough. And of course we have 2 copies of the channel name, Mafuba, just because it's too good, too good. Just being able to just seal away one of your opponent's battle cards, and it doesn't choose either, so even something with like barrier is still going to get hit by it. And for the last card, we run Beyond Darkness Demigra. It's the last other of the Overrun cards I run. Well, technically Dark Overrun, but you guys get the idea. So the Dark Overrun was 7, and you have to pay 5. And the auto is when this card attacks, your opponent reveals their hand, choose up to 4 battle cards from it, and combo with them in your combo area. So it's also another card that kind of goes with the Broly, to just reducing your opponent's hand size. So there we go, guys. That was the Black-Blue Broly deck profile. I cannot wait till we get the Broly pack. And, yeah, that was coming out in January. Matter of fact, it's actually going to come out with Clash of Fates. So it's coming out very soon. It's going to be that and a Gogeta leader in those packs. And we're also in March, guys. March. That's going to be where we get everything for the movie Broly. And it's going to be amazing. I don't think it's gonna be top tier stuff with like Hirudegan, Storm, and all that, but I definitely think it's gonna be high tier, like with Android stuff like that. So it's definitely gonna be way up there for sure because it's just so good. But we do have some Broly stuff to play with now while we're waiting. And guys, please, if possible, go see the Broly movie because already people are already saying this is the best Dragon Ball movie ever. So I already got my tickets to go see it. I highly encourage you guys to go see it too. We're not going to be disappointed. Alright, so enough about me rambling. If you guys like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel for more of these awesome Dragon Ball deck profiles and battles. So, with that, you all have a fantastic day. Glad to be in 2019. We're going to kick it off right with awesome stuff and awesome content. And with that, you've been released.